Winning isn't natural. It's not something that happens automatically or by accident. It's not something you stumble into or fall backwards into. Winning is a deliberate act that requires force, the force of will, the force of action, the force of determination that refuses to accept anything less than victory. Most people wait for winning to happen to them. They hope for it, wish for it, dream about it, but they don't force it. They think that if they just work hard enough, show up consistently enough, or wait long enough, winning will eventually find them. But that's not how it works. Winning has to be forced. It has to be demanded. It has to be taken, not given. Success doesn't volunteer itself. It has to be conscripted. Victory doesn't surrender easily. It has to be conquered. The difference between people who win and people who don't isn't talent, intelligence, or luck. It's the willingness to force the outcome they want instead of hoping for the outcome they want. It's the difference between being passive and being aggressive, between hoping and demanding, between wishing and forcing. When I say force yourself to win, I'm not talking about being forceful with other people. I'm talking about being forceful with yourself. I'm talking about the internal force that compels you to do what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. This internal force is what separates champions from everyone else. It's what allows athletes to push through pain barriers that would stop normal people. It's what allows entrepreneurs to work 18-hour days for years to build their businesses. It's what allows anyone to achieve extraordinary results in any field. But this force doesn't develop naturally. It has to be cultivated, strengthened, and directed. It has to be built through deliberate practice, conscious choice, and repeated action. It's like a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it and weaker the more you neglect it. So how do you develop this force? How do you become the kind of person who forces themselves to win instead of hoping to win? First, you have to develop an intolerance for losing. Most people are too comfortable with losing. They accept it as inevitable, normal, or even acceptable. They make excuses for their losses, rationalize their failures, and settle for less than their best effort. Winners can't stand losing. It bothers them at a deep, visceral level. They take losses personally, not because they have fragile egos, but because they have high standards. They refuse to accept losing as an option, which forces them to find ways to win. This doesn't mean they never lose. Everyone loses sometimes. But winners lose differently than losers do. They lose with the fierce determination to make sure it doesn't happen again. They lose with the commitment to learn, adapt, and come back stronger. Developing an intolerance for losing means raising your standards in every area of your life. It means refusing to accept mediocre effort, mediocre results, or mediocre excuses. It means demanding more from yourself than anyone else demands from you. Second, you have to become comfortable with discomfort. Forcing yourself to win means doing things that are difficult, uncomfortable, and sometimes painful. It means pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone on a regular basis. It means choosing the hard path when the easy path is available. Most people are comfort seekers. They make decisions based on what feels good in the moment rather than what will produce the best results in the long term. They choose ease over effort, comfort over growth, pleasure over progress. Winners understand that comfort is the enemy of growth. They understand that everything worthwhile in life exists outside your comfort zone. They understand that the discomfort of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. Becoming comfortable with discomfort means deliberately putting yourself in challenging situations. It means taking on projects that stretch your abilities, pursuing goals that seem impossible, and pushing yourself to levels you've never reached before. Third, you have to develop the ability to force action in the absence of motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Some days you feel motivated, some days you don't. If you wait for motivation to take action, you'll spend most of your life waiting. Winners don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. They've developed the ability to force themselves to take action regardless of how they feel. They understand that action creates motivation, not the other way around. This requires you to separate your feelings from your actions. Your feelings are real and valid, but they don't have to control your behavior. You can feel tired and still work out. You can feel discouraged and still pursue your goals. You can feel unmotivated and still take action. Forcing action in the absence of motivation is a skill that gets stronger with practice. Every time you do what you said you would do despite not feeling like it, you build your discipline muscle. Every time you choose action over inaction, you strengthen your ability to force yourself to win. Fourth, you have to become obsessed with getting better. Forcing yourself to win isn't just about working harder, it's about getting better. It's about constantly improving your skills, your knowledge, your strategies, and your results. Most people plateau early in their careers or lives and then coast. They reach a level of competence that's good enough and then stop growing. They become comfortable with their current abilities and stop pushing themselves to develop new ones. Winners are never satisfied with their current level of performance. They're always looking for ways to improve, to grow, to get better. They understand that if you're not getting better, you're getting worse, because everyone around you is improving. This obsession with improvement means constantly seeking feedback, constantly learning new skills, constantly challenging yourself to reach higher levels of performance. It means treating every day as an opportunity to get better at something. Fifth, you have to develop the courage to risk failure in pursuit of success. Playing it safe doesn't lead to winning, it leads to mediocrity. To force yourself to win, you have to be willing to risk losing. You have to be willing to fail spectacularly in pursuit of succeeding spectacularly. Most people are so afraid of failure that they never put themselves in position to succeed. They choose safe, guaranteed mediocrity over risky, potential excellence. They would rather be certain of small results than uncertain of big results. Winners understand that the biggest risk is not taking any risks. They understand that safety is an illusion and that the only real security comes from your ability to produce results regardless of circumstances. This requires developing a different relationship with failure. Instead of seeing failure as something to be avoided at all costs, you have to see it as information, as feedback, as a necessary part of the learning process. You have to become more afraid of not trying than you are of failing. Sixth, you have to surround yourself with other people who are forcing themselves to win. The people you spend time with have a huge influence on your mindset, your standards, and your results. If you're surrounded by people who accept mediocrity, you'll likely accept mediocrity too. Winners surround themselves with other winners. They seek out people who have higher standards, who work harder, who expect more from themselves and from life. They understand that iron sharpens iron and that you become like the people you spend the most time with. This might mean changing your social circle. It might mean spending less time with friends who don't share your commitment to excellence. It might mean seeking out new mentors, coaches, or advisors who can help you reach higher levels of performance. Seventh, you have to develop systems that force you to win. You can't rely on willpower alone. You have to create structures, processes, and systems that make winning more likely and losing less likely. This means creating accountability systems that track your progress and hold you responsible for your results. It means designing your environment to support your goals and eliminate distractions. It means building habits and routines that automatically move you toward your desired outcomes. Systems remove the need to make decisions in the moment when your willpower might be weak. They create automatic behaviors that serve your goals, whether you feel like it or not. They make winning a matter of process rather than inspiration. Eighth, you have to be willing to pay the price of winning up front. Everything has a price, and the price of success is always paid in advance. You have to be willing to sacrifice what you want now for what you want most. Most people want to win, but they're not willing to pay the price of winning. They want the results without the work, the success without the sacrifice, the victory without the discipline. They want to negotiate the price of success down to something they're comfortable paying. But success doesn't negotiate. It doesn't offer discounts or payment plans. It demands full payment up front, and the currency is effort, time, sacrifice, and commitment. If you're not willing to pay the full price, you won't get the full results. Ninth, you have to develop the mental toughness to persist when things get difficult. Forcing yourself to win means continuing to push forward when everything in you wants to quit. It means finding a way when there doesn't seem to be a way. It means refusing to surrender when surrender seems like the rational choice. Mental toughness isn't about being invulnerable or emotionless. It's about being able to function effectively, despite difficulty, uncertainty, or discouragement. It's about maintaining your commitment to your goals, even when the path gets unclear or obstacles seem insurmountable. This mental toughness is developed through repeatedly pushing through difficult situations. Every time you continue when you want to quit, you build your mental strength. Every time you persist through adversity, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Finally, you have to understand that forcing yourself to win is a daily choice, not a one-time decision. You don't make the choice to be a winner once and then coast. You make the choice to force yourself to win every single day, sometimes every single hour. Some days it will be easier than others. Some days you'll feel strong and motivated, and forcing yourself to win will feel natural. Other days you'll feel weak and discouraged, and forcing yourself to win will feel impossible. But you have to do it on both kinds of days. The people who achieve extraordinary results aren't the people who feel like winning all the time. They're the people who force themselves to win even when they don't feel like it, especially when they don't feel like it. Forcing yourself to win isn't about being harsh or cruel to yourself. It's about loving yourself enough to demand your best effort. It's about respecting yourself enough to hold yourself to high standards. It's about believing in yourself enough to know that you're capable of more than you're currently producing. The world doesn't owe you success. Life doesn't guarantee you victory. Nobody is going to force you to win. If you want to win, you have to force yourself to win. You have to demand it from yourself, expect it from yourself, and refuse to accept anything less from yourself. The choice is yours. You can hope to win, or you can force yourself to win. You can wish for success, or you can demand success from yourself. You can wait for winning to happen to you, or you can make winning happen through you.